Welcome to Throwback Thursday, and it is my Grand Prix Utrecht report from 2014. It's my second Grand Prix I ever played, and on the contrary to London 2 years ago, this one was a whole weekend of car checking. So before we start a rather odd tale of very odd games, let's recap my personal goals. I wanted to go 3-6 as my last one was a 2-win GP and grab 150 Planeswalker points in the process. Now, the trip was already an adventure. Utrecht, and especially the area around the venue, the Jaarbeurs, was a battlefield. We had driven around the center for nearly an hour, passing our hotel, the NH Jaarbeurs, about 5 times and ended even on a bus road. But we found it in the end and managed to park the car for 3 days in a garage. Then it was off to the Burger King for a quick bite and off to the venue for the first side events. The first thing I enrolled in was Chaos Draft, and something I'll never do again, at €25. 8 player single elimination. The chances of getting value out of it are rather minimal, and my actual best value card were a Logic Knot and a Terminate, so Crimea River I went out in round 1. The second side event I had registered for was foiled again. At €20 for a sealed, you're basically playing for free boosters at retail cost. €4 a piece, and every participant received a free promo. This month's Friday Night Magic Bile-Blight. If you got 2 wins out of 4, you'd get 2 boosters and more promos, but at 0-2 I was spent and dropped even though I had a minimal chance for the prizes. I just wanted to eat, and the hotel restaurant had a very good restaurant. After some testing that evening, I knew my deck was pretty safe against mono black. Yes, I have Torch Fiends in my sideboard and they would prove their worth. And the new hype Rebel Red is chanceless under normal draw conditions. I can 60-40 win a game 1, then switch in 3 Circle of Flames for 3 of my 1-drops and a mulligan if needed to go 3 down. As long as I have a single mountain, a circle and another land, the game ends on turn 2. The Hail of the Hydra deck also for some reason has big issues winning against my concussion. As in 10 test games versus Glenn, I went 8-2. No idea why though, it just works for some bizarre reason. So it was the big day, and it turned out to be one of those days. I lost fair and square to some players who were just better than me, but I also lost 2 games in particular in very, very frustrating ways. In one match, we were at 1-1 when he goes Supreme Verdict, then lays down an Elvish Mystic. I'm at 7, he's at 8, at 1 at that moment. I got 8 land on the table, so any creature or burn coming off the deck is a win, even a Fanatic for 1 is sufficient. I got beaten to death in 7 turns by an attacking Mystic as I drew 7 lands, resulting in 15 out of 20 being on the table and losing the match. Another frustrating game was when also at 1-1, he was at 4, I was at 20. I had already played all my 3 damage burns and he was building an army with Nissa, while my small creatures couldn't attack lest be blocked to death, so they were on damage control duty. Either one of my Mizium Mortars, Fantastic Emojis or Stoke the Flames, all still in the deck, would nail it, and there were only 21 cards left in my library, so chances look good. So enter the draw steps for the following turn: Cackler, Mountain, Nykthos, Death. Ugh. And my third win? In the final round, number 9, my opponent didn't show up. Frustrating, very frustrating, but at least I have the Butterskull promo, and I have my full signed by the present artist Philip Berberan for my signatures map. But after that, we went out for drinks and very, very good riffs in the Utrecht Center, and it all upped the way, so after another very short and interrupted night, we went back in to play the standard event and grab some points hopefully. Going in 3-3 at the end, it was a good game that polished up my mood a lot, and while the designated driver was still doing a draft, I went in for a quick standard pickup side event. In this, you play with 8, single elimination. Winning your first match gives you 2 boosters, ending second yields 4, and winning it gives you 6 boosters of M15. My first match was against a mono black deck, so I went to the second round smoothly with 2-0. There I faced off against a mono black deck, and a quick 2-0 later I suddenly found myself playing a Jund deck for the win. I won the first game with a bit of struggling and a top deck Fanatic, but then in game 2 he got mana issues and I actually won the second event of my whole mana magic career, within the month of the first. Topping this off, it also yielded a quick 30 Planeswalker points. So I got 6 boosters and that yielded a not great, but not too bad either bunch of cards. So after 3 days of battling and trading, we returned back to Antwerp with a decent amount of Planewalker points and my only barely I3 wins. Which should have been some more if I didn't have one of those days, but in all honesty, day 2 was never an option. So I'm just glad I didn't face Blue Devotion. At the time of writing, the Planeswalker point site hadn't updated with the Grand Prix itself, and now it never will because it doesn't exist anymore. But on the side event, I already hold 84 points, so it should be 136 more to the tally, scoring a total of over 200 points, and already secures my ticket for the for the World Magic Qualifiers of 2015. So I'll be back on that battlefield After having to pass next week due to not qualifying, I haven't been able to play much in 2014, 3 or 4 events only, and not going to be able to attend the Last Chancellors on Saturday. I can't get it sold to the girlfriend to go out for another weekend yet again. And now I can start aiming my sights on the rotation of the cars. I will probably be already dismantling my deck of Ravnica block cars and put in fillers for Terras for now until the cons hit. It was a fun deck, it did its job, and the Torch Fiend was definitely my last minute stroke of genius, as no bow nor whip had annoyed me over the whole weekend, and no opponent saw that counter coming. He is a stayer in the sideboard, as well as a new Perilous Vault that is making its way into decks as well. So, that's it for my adventure at the GP Utrecht 2014. Thanks for watching and see you again next time. Bye bye.